head right.
You know what time it is, baby. That's right, head right time. Thank you guys so much for coming to kick it in TZL Unprescripted. Let's serve up that dose, man. And I guess this is gonna be a dose concerning a big question. Not, the big question: are we in the middle, or are we in the middle of a civil war? Has a civil war started? Short answer, yeah. The Civil War, yeah, we're in the middle of a civil war. I think the more complicated question is, when did it start? We can go way back. I mean, if people really want to get like nuanced about it, like say for instance, I'd say casualties of the next Civil War would be the preborn, right? Prenatal kids. And unfortunately, it was Republicans who made that legal. I mean, I sure do appreciate it. Republicans switch their tunes on it and be like, hey, man, you know what? This ain't right. But Republicans dropped the ball on us on the Supreme Court. So now we got abortion. So thanks, Republicans. It's like y'all didn't consult with the Lord and you got really legalistic about the Constitution, as opposed to really looking at how it applies to the God-given rights of man. Dropped the ball on that one. So, I mean, one could say that the Civil War started, but that was the next one, because you got the preborn were the casualties in that. But let's maybe, since, I don't know, what was the validation that people were looking for? As far as that goes, to understand that there was a war going on, that there was casualties, right? Or if we want to maybe look at something maybe a little more contemporary, how about January 6th? Is that a little easier to kind of bring it into focus? Somehow, not because the preborn are less valid. It's not because of that, but just because it was a while ago. Right? That happened a long time ago, and it didn't register with a lot of people that, even with Republicans, that, this is a person that you're killing, right? A lot of people got it. They understood. But I guess maybe just didn't understand quite enough. I don't know. That Constitution that says, we're all created equal with certain inalienable rights, created equal, not born equal, created. Once you're created, because that's really the one thing that makes us equal, right? When we talk about equality, that is the one thing that makes us equal. The design of God of the marriage to the male seed to the female egg. That is how we get here, right? You don't get here any other way. So that is the equality that we share. But somehow they lost perspective on that and didn't realize that, hey, this person in the womb has rights. So it's, and it went through. So maybe people just didn't understand it. An attack has been made on an innocent party, right? The government gave the go-ahead for that. All right. So usually when you have the government that says go ahead and you can do this, isn't that like an act of war? He said, yeah, you can go ahead and kill people. Right? So, one could say that, that could be, a point. But like I said, that was a while ago. Maybe people just lost perspective of that. But January 6th, okay, so there was a casualty, when that happened. How do you explain that? Liberals? How do you explain that? A government agent shot a person and killed them, and we didn't retaliate. We didn't come in there blazing with AR-15s and AKs and bazookas and all that stuff. Oh, we're going to go get our stash. We're going to be right back here. We're going to blow up the White House. That didn't happen. Right? That didn't happen at all. So, I guess we're not these, hair trigger, ready to shoot them up, kill everybody, gun nuts that's y'all. Y'all are the ones who do that. And you engineer these things to get the culture to give up their guns. How long have we been saying this? Suckering people to give up the masses, getting them all afraid of violence and feeling all self-righteous. And, we need to do the right thing and be responsible and get rid of our guns. And then people are disarmed, and here comes the government, right? Taking over. But here's the thing. In this Civil War, it's because you got a lot of, Republican voters that aren't recognizing that we're in the middle of a civil war. That's sad. Oh, what are you waiting for? Republican voters? What are you waiting for to understand that we're in a war? What do you need to be able to shoot somebody? Is that the validation that you want? When we get to start shooting, that's when we're in the middle of a war. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for? Because I mean, Democrats are already shooting people. So when you get to shoot, is that when it's a war for you? What do you wait? Are you waiting on some? I'm sorry, I keep swimming around my chair because I'm trying to get center. There we go. There we go. Trying to get my center, and it's backwards, man, because I keep scooting to the left and I'm going to the right. Come on, man. You're on the right. You're on the right, soldier. Dang it. Anyway, so what are you waiting for? Let me get back to scoot back to the center. All right. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for uniforms? Is that what you need to you want your uniforms, man? You want some stripes and stuff like that before so we can recognize that we're in the middle of a war or something like that? Is that what you need? I mean, because, Democrats, they got theirs, man. Antifa out there with their uniforms. They got the skateboard helmets on and their knee pads. They uniformed up, right? Got the little mask on and stuff like that, and, and spray paint and whatever. they ready. They got their uniforms, right? Is that what we need to understand that we're in the middle of a war? Right? So even before January 6th, war has been declared. You think there hasn't been? So what kind of casualties? Do they have to be casualties by the factions going shooting people? Is that what you need to see that it's a war? I mean, because that COVID thing, that was engineered, right? That was a tactics. Or what else? With the White House being taken over. The White House, this bumbling in it, and now you got conservative outlets, saying, maybe this stuff was engineered. Maybe Biden, I've been saying that. While conservatives out there, just bumbling idiot, this mental handicap and all that sort of stuff. It's like, you might want to rethink that because, like I said, if you're calling him a mental handicap in a minute, that doesn't look good for you, because that means that you let this nincompoop get past you. Right? How did that happen? And your guns didn't seem to do much to stop it. Your guns ain't doing a lot to stop a lot of things, as this country is just effectively being taken over. What do you think a civil war is supposed to look like? The country is being taken over. Okay, so you don't think it's a civil war when you got people who are dying from whatever they want to call it. If you could be dying from anything, they're gonna call it COVID. Okay, they're gonna call it COVID. You go to the hospital and nobody can advocate for you. You go into the hospital, and that might be the last time you see your loved ones. That don't sound like a war to you? You go into the hospital, and something you might not even have COVID. You might have something else. They ain't gonna treat you for it, right? And you might end up with COVID anyway. And then to try to treat it, you can't get what you want. You can't get the COVID care package, I think it's called. Right? You can't get that hydroxychloroquine. You can't get quercetin. You can't get the zinc package. You can't get that stuff, right? You got to take what they give you. And the stuff is basically what they're gonna give you is they're trying to help you die. So that doesn't seem like a civil war to you. It's like we're gonna deny you treatment. And now anything is like when you got things like baby formula coming off the shelves, and if you're gonna get any sort of a substitute like that for if you want like natural breast milk, well, you're gonna have to get breast milk from these vaccinated people. They're gonna have that criteria on that, right? So when you see it, like you can't get baby formula, and you got these people trying to tell you that baby formula, that breast milk is bad for you. The only thing that makes breast milk bad for you is these nuts, these globalist nuts who are making this food that is basically poison for us. That's the only thing if there's anything wrong with breast milk, it's because of what these globalists have done to the food. And that's what these women are consuming. And that's what's going into that's getting pumped into their kids. Other than that, breast milk is a natural thing, but these globalists want to feed us unnatural food. That's the problem. Okay? And so and by that, these people who are doing that are the same people who are going to turn around and tell us that they can make better food in a lab. The problem is that you're already making our food in a lab. You're GMOing the crap out of our food as it is. And now you're going to grow it in a lab? And talking about what we need, and you got flipping Bill Gates talking about what is it? Was it bio milk? Yeah, bio milk. They're going to make us a synthetic milk. Really? So where y'all going to get this faux milk from? Where you going to get this? Are you going to squeeze it from dudes? You know, dudes trying to be women? I'm a woman. I'm a trans woman. Oh, come here. Let me put this breast pump up to you. Let me suckle some of that fake milk out of them fake boobs, dude. You know? Oh, don't call me. I'm a ma'am. You know, so whatever. All right? So are we going to have dudes out there, you know, coming in with their strap-on boobs saying, I'm a wet nurse, you know? So, what you know, I bet they could do that. You could try to say, hey, well, you know, they used to have wet nurse. Oh, no, that wet nurse, that's slavery. And I'll bet you if a dude came in there and said, hey, I'm trans and I identify as a wet nurse. Oh, bravo, you're so brave. Why don't you come and breastfeed my kid? You don't think we're in the middle of a war? There's psychological warfare going on here, man. We got people twisted up. Yes, we're in the middle of a war. It's a war on manhood. Women are at war with themselves in terms of womanhood. Yes, it's full-blown spiritual war. This is more important than a civil war. Spiritual war is on and cracking, baby. All right, and like I said, what is it that y'all think that you need? You know, to understand that, yes, we're at war. You basically have men in this war killing themselves. If they're not, you know, offing themselves completely, they're murdering their manhood. I mean, hey, even here in Texas, we got, what was that, in that strip club? You got little kids out there handing these trans strippers money. Oh, Texas. Right? Don't mess with Texas. Oh, Texas is so getting messed with. Texas is getting straight up molested. But hey, Texas was a Democrat state longer than it was been a Republican state. Texas ain't turning into a Democrat state. It's just going back to what it was. That's why I've been trying to warn y'all for a long time. These southern states that y'all call red states, when they were red states and Republicans beat the Democrats, that's when it had a moment of sanity. But something's happening. You know, the infection of liberalism is like herpes, man. It flares up again, and you're getting that flare up, and you're turning back into Democrats. And that's when that's the cray-cray. It's a feedback loop, right? So, but you got this, you know, in Texas, this trans club talking about what's the theme of it? You got this trans dude into a woman dancer, and the theme of it ain't gonna lick itself. Why y'all got your kids there? I guess what the kids are thinking, are they talking about a lollipop? I want to lick a lollipop too. Lollipops don't lick themselves. They need me to do it for them. You know, it's like, what do you think they're, you know, this is what the kids are being grown up with. It ain't going to lick itself. Hey, tranny, you know what? That vagina ain't going to grow itself either. If you ain't got one, if you got, what do you think this is? Harry Potter? Your magic wand going to turn into a magic box? That stuff don't work. Which, you know, but we got this. You don't think we're in the middle of a war? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we are. Right? So what kind of casualties are you guys looking for? Is it going to have to be people laying in the streets from cannon fire? You know, body parts here and there? Is that what it'll be, you know, officially a war for you? No, we in the middle of a war. Oh, yeah. The high, you know, and what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Trump to come back to be your general? And which general is Trump going to get to be? Is he going to be the next Lincoln, or is he going to be the next Jefferson Davis? That should be an easy question to answer. But unfortunately, you're going to have some conservatives out there. He's going to be our Jefferson Davis, and we need to secede from the Union. Y'all sound just like Democrats because that's who they were. And you wonder why people think the parties have switched sides. Oh, Lincoln was he was a tyrant against Northern aggression. Pushing Northern aggression. Okay. You know that those people that Lincoln came against were Democrats, right? Both in the North and the South. I can't stand it when Republicans be like, there was slavery in the North too. Of course there was slavery in the North. That's because there were Democrats in the North also. Democrats in the North and South, right? Just the Southern Democrats said, no, we want to secede. And Northern Democrats said, no, man, we need to keep that whole slavery thing throughout the whole United States. We need to expand. And Democrats said, no, man, we're tired of waiting on y'all. Right? We're tired of the fact that y'all want the benefits of all this sort of stuff, but Democrats say, yeah, yes, we and the Southern Democrats said, no, we have the way that we want to go ahead and do this, and you guys are interfering, but you want to benefit from it. That wasn't Republicans. That wasn't even particularly the North. The Democrats got y'all thinking it's a Northern and Southern thing. That's what they do, y'all. They play on people's sentiments of territories. They play on people's sentiments of nationalities. They play on people's sentiments of gender. They play on people's sentiments of what they can take pride in. And they will turn those factions towards each other. That's why the Democrats use the language, and they sucker Republicans into doing it too. The war between North and South, it wasn't between North and South. The war was between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats have already been pushing to keep slavery legal. Republicans weren't even around yet until the abolitionists said, you know what, man, we're putting an end to this. And they founded the Republican Party. Not too long after that, they went to war against slavery. That thing that Republicans had been suckered into thinking that the war was never about. You learned that from Democrats. You didn't learn that from Republicans. Those same Democrats who are trying to enslave everybody today, trying to control everything today, trying to shackle everybody today, brain chaining everybody today. Those same slave-driving, slave-minded, controlling Democrats are the same ones of the Confederacy back then. The thing that you say that the Civil War wasn't even about. It wasn't even about slavery. Yes, it was. You know. So, and now. Because it fits that you got so many Republicans can't figure out that we're in the middle of a war because they don't even know what the Civil War was about. They can't even admit what that was. So of course you don't know that you're in the middle of a war right now, and that's why we're destined to get our behind kicked. While you're funneling your guns. Or you just wait. Wait for what? They're taking everything. You don't know what the Civil War was about then as you give the Democrats a pass for what they were doing back then, and you don't know that you're in the middle of a war right now. So, how do you think this is going to, like I said, so who does Trump get to be? Does Trump get of course he's Trump, he's MAGA. Maybe he doesn't even have to choose between Lincoln and Davis. Maybe he gets to choose between being Trump and Jesus. As if the Messiah, when the MAGA Messiah returns, we'll have our victory. We'll get our country back. Salvation will have come. Right? I even see people. When I saw that tweet of that tranny dancing at that club, little kid giving him money and stuff like that, and the tweet's like, "Hey Texas, what are your Republican leaders gonna do?" What do you mean Republican leaders? What are you going to do about it? See, that's what I be saying about the Republicans, man. Look, your leaders, why do you look at them as leaders? Why don't you look at them as your representatives first? That's what they're elected to do, to represent you. But you're looking for a leader. You can, now don't get me wrong. If the test for me is like, look, if you go, because man, it makes me nauseous, man, when I see these officials going to this country needs leadership, and then I'm ready to lead. It's just, no, you're not. No, you're not. Your objective is to go in and represent. But I guess it's beneath you. The word representation must be beneath you. You want to be exalted to leadership. And these people, they go in there and leading us to where? Where are they leading us to? It doesn't look like any place good. What are they doing with their so-called leadership? Nothing. Now, when you got this leadership mind, you're going to be prideful and selfish about that, right? You're supposed to be going in there to represent us. And then from there, it's like, if you got that humility in mind and say, okay, now we can talk about some leadership, because those are leadership qualities. When you have the humility to say that, man, I'm going in there to represent you. I'm going to do my best to represent you. All right, now that's a lead, right? That's a leader. But see, I see these people going there talking about leaders. It's like, man, that's just a bunch of hot air, man. And that's what these people are talking about. What are you doing about it, leaders? It's like I keep saying, man, these people go in there talking about being eagles, and they turn out to be jive turkeys. So these leaders these so-called leaders that are going in there, who are supposed to be representing us, you got Republicans saying that always saying government is the problem. It's not the answer. But you look to these so-called leaders to do something about it. And I keep telling you, man, this is ground level. This is cultural stuff that has to be done. These are cultural moves that need to be carried out. Republicans don't really do that. They think it's only official. It's only whatever is going on in their mind is only official if they have a candidate that goes in there, as our leader, I guess, to, go in there with this mighty pen to say, no, I'm not for this legislation. So what? You don't seem to understand that Democrats, they're rebellious. You can make something a law if you want to. They're going to break the law, and the reason, and they're going to turn around and make their own laws. And those are the laws that we're being made to live by. We're living under their laws. And the worst part of it is that Republicans are more, Republicans will follow Democrats' laws and obey Democrats' laws before Democrats will obey Republican law. I mean, just the fact that Democrats call themselves Democrats is already a show that they're not pro rule of law. They call themselves Democrats because that's what they think this country is and what they want it to be. They want it to be a democracy. They reject that we're a republic, right? They reject that we're a republic that has a fixed set of laws that acknowledge the God-given rights of man, these laws that you cannot intrude upon, and you have to balance those things. You don't vote them away. But see, that's what Democrats want. Democrats want to be able to have the popular vote to go in and vote away whatever it intrudes upon what they think entitled to. They want to vote away what God has said, this is certain. You do not mess with these. That's why they want to be a democracy, to vote away these things. And when they don't get their way at the voting booth, then they want to do it by judicial fiat. And if they can't get it that way, then they do it by violence. All right. So that's what we're up against. And Republicans will obey those laws before Democrats will obey ours. But the thing is, y'all, it's not, you're assuming that these things are going to have to be done with an official pen stroke. No, it's done culturally. It's influential. Democrats strike quickly. They get to these kids quick, faster than Republicans do. Not only, and you know why Democrats don't even have to act that quick? Because Republicans are quick to send their kids to them. So what you expect? So you got kids being groomed for war. Not like in a military fashion, per se. They're being trained to be taken over like, well, I love you. They're being groomed for that. They're being groomed to be social justice warriors. Not the kind of warrior that you're thinking of in terms of a warrior, right? With chevrons and and a sidearm and all that sort of stuff. No, they got a whole different kind of war campaign that they're doing. These warriors that we got, these world warriors, these warriors for the earth, these warriors for social justice, these warriors for gender identity, and these warriors for that. Yeah, they're that. That Second Amendment that you said upholds the First. The Second Amendment is being eroded by the First Amendment. First Amendment is being used to take out the Second. I'm just saying, for all the boasting that people do in their guns, what's it stopping in terms of the takeover of our country? I've been trying to tell y'all that this war is being fought a totally different way as this country is being taken over. So, I mean, what I'm asking, like, what do you think? What do you think is that stamp that says, okay, we're at war? What sign are you looking for? What official thing are you looking for to say that, we're at war? How many people have to die? How many people have to, just like, dude, seriously, you're going to put you're going to impose this on us, which is going to cost more lives of people? How much gas? How much do we have to pay in gas? Gas and end up so expensive that we won't even be able to drive to the battlefield. We won't even have, it's like, we won't have gas at the pump, ain't got no oil in the strategic oil. Hey, maybe we can get some of that strategic oil reserve so we can, because that's what it's for. So ain't it supposed to be for military campaigns? We can't even get that. Dang. Give me my bike. Liberals gonna be like, ha ha, we told you should have been riding bikes. Shut up. Right? You'll be trying to paddle your way to the battlefield. What's it gonna take? Yes, and I'm not saying, okay, we're at war, let's go and get out there and hit the fields, and the killing fields. No, I'm trying to tell y'all this war has to be fought a different way. I've been saying that for a long time. Been saying it. But but unfortunately, Republicans, too many Republicans, not y'all. Y'all listen to the show. You guys know what it is. You guys are the rare and the few, right? We rare and few that understands that. Hey, man, that's, we're about our firearms too. But this is being fought a whole different way, and there needs to be support on how to promote this in the culture to get that influence. I'm trying to tell you, you think it's generals out there in the fields, cavalrymen, and it's like, no. The country is being overrun and being influenced to turn on itself by effeminate influencers. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I ain't trying to tell y'all that, well, you know what? That's what we got to do, too. We're going to have to go ahead and get ourselves gussied up and do our nails and all that sort of stuff. And we need to get on YouTube and be like, hey, honey, let me tell you. No, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that at all. I'm saying, but that's who's taking over. These influencers and stuff like that, it doesn't matter if it's YouTube, doesn't matter if it's the radio, your classrooms, all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that we have to do what they do. We need to be using tools. And these tools are to be able to showcase an influence, to run interference on the influence that they have. You have to show that there is something else interesting. Like I said, man, it's like going on a diet. You can't tell a person, if they're eating like this really good food that's bad for them, you can't say, dude, you got to stop eating that. Be like, I'm going to keep on eating. You got to be able to offer them. It's like when they start feeling sick and stuff like that, and you know how it is. They start feeling sick. Doesn't matter. They still going to go back to eating what they was eating, right? You can't tell them to just stop doing that. You got to introduce an alternate, say, look, man, this is the benefits of you eating this, and it's a trade-off. It may not taste as good, but it's decent enough, and you won't, get the inflammation and stuff like that you're having. All right, and if you give me a chance, we can better it. We can make it better, right? Come on, man. You mean to tell me, like I said, with the whole vegan and the vegetarian, and I'm telling y'all, these globalists, these environmental pagan globalists, they're taking over with this fake food, right? They're making fake, men are being made to be fake women, vice versa, and they're filling them with fake food. And they want you to eat fake food. They want you to eat fake meat, right? As we're having shortages of you're going to see that it's kind of strange that, hey, man, how come we're having this shortage of food? But why do we got so much of this fake food? Why do we got this, this Beyond Meat? How come we got so much of that? We don't have anything else, right? They're talking about this stuff is natural and is good for you. This stuff is over-processed, well-seasoned cat food. That's what it is. All right, and they're feeding their cats and saying, the vets are like, dude, why are our cats getting so diseased? Well, the vets know why. It's because you keep feeding them crap. You feeding them, this stuff looks like the human diet. Right? It's crap. So, you're going to have that, trying to tell, but my point is that these people, y'all, listen to me closely. Now, I've been trying to tell you this, and I hope this really registers at this point. I keep telling you, liberals have made it to where they got the support for it. And of course, and granted, a lot of it is subsidies. But they've been working it, y'all. They work it, though. Even to where the taxpayer is happy to pay for it. They don't complain. Yeah, go ahead, subsidize. I don't care. Right? And now they got varieties of the stuff on the shelves. Working at it until they can make a cabbage passable to taste like a steak. Right? They kept working at it. And now people are like, oh, sure, Beyond Meat. Yeah, sure. Sure, Impossible Burger. It tastes just like the real thing. They kept working at it. Getting people to eat their vegetables, had to process the crap out of it. Right? It's fake as all get out. But people they're thinking they're eating nutritious. I'm eating nutritious. I'm eating natural. I'm one with the earth. Right? Tastes just like a hamburger. Okay? But they kept working at it. Why don't Republicans do that? Why? If they can make some freaking corn gruel taste like chili, why and get it to where people are like, why can't Republicans take this bland worldview that we have that's actually so much healthier for everybody and just market it and say, look, dude, this is how we do this. and get in the way of these spell casting modern day Chaldeans? Why aren't we getting in the way of these witches? Why aren't we breaking their spell with the truth before we end up with a seriously bloody war? And the sad of it is that it'll be a bloody war without a shot being fired, because that's what's happening. Our country is being taken over, y'all. You know, Republicans, here's Republicans. Well, we need a leader, right? Arguing over who's going to be the next primary, you know? Rather than, and they invest all behind that just to be disappointed again. But it's like when it comes to like, look, man, you need to find people who are going to go out there and do the messaging, right? Get out there and run interference on these things that Democrats are doing. Democrats are running game, y'all. Running game. And that's the stuff that they use to get the political clout that they have. They lay the cultural groundwork to do that. The ground war is being done. Republicans aren't there. Republicans are waiting for some political messiah. They worse than liberals waiting, looking at Obama like he was a messiah. Republicans are worse. So I'm trying to tell you, it's like Democrats, they're already right there. They're in everything, y'all. Keep telling you, in the classrooms, they're on the radio, they're on the TV, they in your light bulbs, they in the toilets that you flush, they in everything. In the food, in the fashion, everywhere. They're in the devil is the prince in the power of the air, babies, and everything that you breathe. And they are his minions. What you gonna do? Wait for another politician? You waiting for a politician to say, we're at war? What? Huh? This war, this campaign is being handled a totally different way. And it costs lives. It costs lives. It's not just costing your country. It's not just costing money. It's costing lives. It's costing souls. You know? So this right here, I'm trying to tell you, like, you know, and this, I ain't doing some long flipping commercial to try to get support to get out there and do some cultural warfare. That's not what I'm trying to do. You know, there should be a big market of it. I don't want to be I'm not trying to be and some are trying to get off the ground with doing it. And some, just the thing about it is, you know, and I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's like some they got strength in their weaknesses. But it's like two different extremes. You know, it's like, you know, you got some claiming to be Christian, but they're wishy-washy about their faith, and they're putting the craft before the kingdom. And in other instances, they put their politics before the kingdom. They claim to be Christian, but they don't really, you know, they claim to be Christian, but that's not really what they put first. The political ideology comes first. It's like, dude, that ain't gonna work. You got to put the kingdom first, no matter what. And you got to really understand what the kingdom is, and understand that these are the ramifications politically when you do that. The Lord should be there in the voting booth, you know, guiding your stroke, you know, guiding the stroke of your pen. You know, so, but there isn't really, you know, it's like wishy-washy on both sides. I hope to think that I can be substantial, like, you know, in going, you know, being very direct, you know, as far as this goes. Balance that out, where it's like you got, you know, sound, biblical, not taking any liberties with the message, taking creative liberties, of course, because it is art, but making sure that the art takes a back seat to the scriptures themselves. You know, that's what has to be led first. And then from there, that guides the creativity of it. And the same thing politically, whether it's political satire, if it's political content, you know, if we're going to use these mediums to proselytize, do it with style. You know, make sure that they're well thought out, and the conclusions are solid, you know, and reflective of how things have played out before. And say, no, dude, the history showed that this isn't how this works. We're not going to be academic about it, right? Look at how things like may look on paper. No, this is real world stuff, you know, and make it really thought provoking, make it really engaging. You know, these people have legions of writers to do that. So what do we got? They got they got teams of highly paid people to come up with season after season of this compelling content that gets people engrossed and mesmerized, you know, and rots their brain. You know, well shot, well executed, you know, like I said, engrossing storylines and whatnot. We don't do that. You know, and it's not a point of you know, living in a world of make-believe. That's where they are. They live in a world of make-believe. And like I said, that's a world of make-believe. You don't think we're at war. They don't want us to think that. But that's what's on their mind. You know? So, you know, with us, it's like these are the things that we need to be like, hey, man, we need to work on our messaging. We need to get in the way of what these people are doing. Yes, right. Pull your kids out of them schools. Right? Get in the way of them educating. You got to be careful because they'll get in your homes too. Right? They thought they was going to do some homeschooling in California. Here came Kava. Right? Right? You got to be on top of it. Right? It's like, okay, get your kids out of them schools. You know, support on the things that you know, like you see kids are interested in certain kinds of media, you know, or things like that, programming. It's like, you know, to start demanding it. Start demanding it. Say, hey, we need something to get in the way of that. We need something that's going to grab our kids' attention so that they won't gravitate to this and be like, hey, what's that? You know? So it's like, it's the one thing of like, you can have, it's like this. You got McDonald's, even though liberals hate McDonald's. That's what their ideology is. It's straight up spiritual, political junk food. That's what it is. All right. So you got McDonald's. McDonald's going to have them shakes and all that sort of stuff. And you got a fruit stand. All right. Well, instead, if McDonald's got shake and your kids, man, I want a shake. I want a strawberry shake. I want a strawberry shake. Well, here's some strawberries. I want no strawberries. I want a strawberry shake. Right. You know, the kid might want strawberries, but I want to dip them in a strawberry shake though. So this is what you got to do. They serving shakes. You got boring strawberries. Or they might want a strawberry pie or something like that. No. You say, hey, look, wait a minute. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to pour this. I'm going to put some ice in it. I'm going to hit it with some almond milk. Right? Maybe throw like some dates in there or something like that. And you got a strawberry smoothie. Whole food. More fun to eat. More fun to drink. And then you got to balance. Something healthy and it'd be like, oh, kid be like, all right. I'll take a smoothie. Yeah, that sounds kind of okay. We can do that. The Republicans are, no, just eat the strawberry. Actually, the kids, they won't even be like, eat shit. No, you just need to eat this bacon. Eat this bacon, right? Bacon ain't necessarily bad for you, you know? But I'm just saying, is this, you know, eat the bacon and have a steak, have some jerky, right? It's like, look, man, you can't just be eating, you get constipated, man. You got to eat some fruit, right? You don't want to be spiritually, you don't want to be politically constipated. Can't be all red meat all the time, man. You got to have the fruit of the spirit. And don't get me wrong, because the Lord likes meat too, right? Not pork chops, lamb chops. The Lord likes lamb chops. Not pork chops. He likes lamb chops. He likes fish, right? He likes him some fatted calf, right? He likes that stuff. But he likes raisins. He likes dates. He eats some fruits, right? That's the food pyramid that you want to be looking at. Don't be looking at the government food pyramid. They're at war with us with our food, man. I'm trying to tell you. They're at war with us with our food. Look at the Lord's food pyramid. Look what he ate, right? That's the diet we're supposed to be doing. And we didn't mess with that, all right? And quit, you know, molesting our meat. That's what Democrats are doing, man. Molesting our meat, and they got to stop. They have to be stopped, y'all. But y'all, seriously, this is no joke. We're in the middle of a war, all right? I don't know what y'all are waiting for. And we got to look at how they're doing it and fight that fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about with the fire of the Holy Spirit, baby. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that kind of cleared things up. Yes, we're in the middle of a war. All right. If I had my drumsticks, I'd go ahead and rattle off. You know, we're there. And the clarion, the klaxon has been sounded, y'all. Revelry. All right, we're there. Okay. All right, y'all. Hope you guys share this video. Drop a bucket to keep your brozo on the go. And we'll talk again soon.